Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Now today, after months of looking at leaks, of checking Amazon listings, of checking Smith's listings, I finally have in my hands the one and only Scary Sweet Birthday Draculaura, and I am so excited about this doll. If you know anything about me, if you've watched any of my videos, you will know that Draculaura is hands down my favourite Monster High character, and you will also know that Sweet Screams is 100% my absolute favourite G1 line. So for them to make a line that's kind of like, it's kind of like a fusion of Sweet 1600 and Sweet Screams, so you've got that like prom birthday vibe, but you've also got the sweets in the accessories and the piping on the cage skirt and all that jazz. I'm just obsessed. I'm so excited to get into this girly. I have been obsessively looking at the Smith's website waiting for her to come in stock, and she was available for an online purchase. So naturally I ordered 3, not because I'm going to keep 3, but because the quality control of these dolls has been interesting, to say the least. I ordered 3 and this is the only one that actually looks half decent. Anyway, I don't want to let that kind of like overshadow the excitement I have for this doll. So she looks gorgeous. I'm excited to get her out the box, but quickly before we continue, I just want to say happy Pride to everybody. This is my first video in June, so I haven't had the opportunity to say it before, but I just want to say happy Pride to everybody. I hope that everyone's feeling good, everyone's feeling empowered, especially any trans viewers that might be watching right now. I'm sending all my love. I know right now is a little bit of a very scary time, no matter where you are in the world. So just know that this channel is a safe space for you. Anyone that's under the LGBTQIA plus umbrella, you are more than welcome on this channel. I myself, I'm a gay man, so let's come together, let's celebrate, and let's unbox this doll. So without further ado, let's get into this. Okay, so I've set Draculaura free, and I kind of wish that I'd filmed that then, just because I had a little moment of like, oh my god, you're finally in my hands. But anyway, before we look at Draculaura herself, let's have a little look at the accessories, because she comes with so much stuff. So first of all, she has her little birthday balloon that says 1600 on it, which is so adorable. Like, I cannot wait to try and figure a way to have her hold that. I just think it's really adorable. It's got a really nice little black bow. It says 1600, and then it's got the little spider web detail behind it, and then some black bat wings. It's just adorable. This is such a cute idea for an accessory, and I love it. And considering I'm not really an accessories person, I'm really glad it came with this. So then she came with this really like useful little, like, I don't know what to call it, like a carton or something that has all of the accessories in. So going from the top, this incredible fan, which I'm really also excited to get out, because this line, just the idea of her like standing around at a party fanning herself is just, love the idea. I think there's, you can't really see, I'm really sorry, but there's indentation on this where I feel like there could be some painted detail, but the sculpting is really nice. So even if you don't paint that in, it still looks great. Then she's got a little picture, which I'm going to assume is like a little Polaroid that she's taken at the party. Then we've got her bag, which is super cute. I'll have a look at this more in detail in a minute. And then the last 2 things we've got are a little gift. I'm not sure who this is from, but this is her little birthday gift, and we'll have a look in there in a minute. And then finally, just a little invitation to her own birthday party. So I guess that's an invitation for me. So, with all the accessories out the way, it's time to take a look at the one and only Draculaura herself. Now, I'm just obsessed with her. She is just absolutely incredible. There are so many details, and I'll try and explain them as much as I can, but let's start from the top and work our way down. So first of all, I just want to say really quickly, the box hair is box herring. It is dry, it is tangled, it is a bit of a mess. But that's okay, because I enjoy giving my dolls a little shampoo and a condition, so that's no problem for me. But anybody that wants to, any kid that might want to play straight out of the box, this hair is shedding and it's all over the place. So yeah, you'll probably have to give that a little bit of a shampoo and condition. But now that we've got that little negative out the way, let's have a look at the doll herself. So first of all, she's got this little like spider web ribbon piece in her hair, and it really like, it ties in basically to her makeup. So her makeup is this really like dramatic, nice and dark eyeliner with these pink spiderweb details either side, and then her earrings are Specifically, this is a reference to her Sweet Screams doll, and I think it's a reference to her pet, so they did different molds for the pets for that line, but this earring specifically is a reference to that Count Fabulous. Moving down, we've got this like faux material, like plastic pearlescent collar with some draping like chains around the outside. Now this is a really cool piece. I can see what they were trying to do. I think the idea of this collar is really nice, but what I think is I don't think it should have been casted in this like pearlescent colour, because at least to me it skews a bit yellow, and I mean, when you like rotate it a little bit, the shine of the like the pearlescentness kind of like distracts you with some blues and purples, but there is like a very strong look of yellow, which is a little bit unfortunate. But I'm thinking that what's in her present I'm going to put on her instead, because I really like that too. Then we move down to this gorgeous cage skirt. So you've got this pink heart like kind of like motif with like beads and bows, and you've got this little white piping, which is kind of like what you have on a cake, like a cake decoration, which is so cute. I absolutely adore this. It looks so incredible, and there's so many details sculpted into this cage skirt, and it just really like stands out. It's a really like statement piece. So underneath her cage skirt, now that I've taken it off, we've got this really simple but really nice dress. So you've kind of got like a little black corset moment on top, then you've got this like pink underskirt which kind of helps like billow it out, and then this printing, I don't know if it's the exact same one, but that's very much a reference to her Sweet 1600 doll, and I think that's a really cute little detail just to kind of throw back to the previous generation for people that may have collected it. And yeah, it's really cool, and it looks really nice actually even without. Then the really like standout moment for me are these black painted on gloves, and you've got this like separate piece which is a little like ruff which kind of like goes around the edge of the gloves, and it looks so cool. Now I'm obsessed with this simply because, just a random side point, I don't know if anybody saw those leaks for Shadow High Series 3 a long time ago. Rosie Redwood was supposed to come with gloves like this, and I'm just so obsessed with the fact that Draculaura has them. And then moving on down to her shoes, you've kind of got this like mix of kind of mirroring this collar at the top with this like faux material ruff just across here, mixed in with some black bows, some black chains. So like the shoes are really nice. I would have actually liked to have seen some like little socks. I thought that would have been really cute, some like mesh socks at the bottom. And then finally you've got these little like magenta heels with like dripping detail. I don't know if you can really see that just because obviously my lighting is horrific, but there's lots of like dripping detail obviously that kind of like feeds back into that like sweets themed kind of thing. And I'm obsessed. I just think this outfit is incredible. Like, once again, I need to get a thesaurus because I just keep using the same words over and over again, but this doll is just such a standout from the line, and absolutely by far and away my favourite of this group of dolls. Now let's have a little look at her bag, just because I think the detail of this is super cool. So as I said previously, this is like a little cake bag that says 1600 on it, and you've got like this like piping detail for the strap of the bag. You've got the black bat wings that kind of obviously tie into Draculaura as a vampire, and it's just super cool to make this bag a cake.
Bitch, is this cake?
I kind of wish that they'd only done 1600 on one side, just because, yeah, I think that kind of leans in very heavily to the idea of it being a cake, and if it was kind of just like a little bit more plain, it would kind of be like a bag giving the essence of cake. But yeah, it's still a really cute bag, and I really like this piece. And then finally we have her little birthday gift. So this is in itself is such a cute little accessory, but inside you've got her other like necklace, and this is the one that I really like, so I'm probably going to display her in this. So I'll pop this on and I'll be back in a second. And this is how she looks with that little necklace on. This necklace once again really like leans into the sweets kind of vibe. You've got some dripping detail just across here, and then a really nice pink skullet in the middle. And I think that like it's much more subtle than the collar, but I just think it looks so nice. And I also think really for me, the kind of like yellow shift that this collar piece has kind of like takes me out of it, which is why, I mean, potentially I could paint it white and see how that goes, but I think for now, this little black choker really gives what I want, really eats for me. So she's going to be looking like this. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for the review. I've gone through everything, so I'm just going to kind of give you my final thoughts. We're so excited for this doll, and I'm just so impressed by this line. I'm not necessarily sure if I'm going to buy any of the other dolls from this line, and if I do, I probably won't buy them full price. I do really like Frankie, and I do really like Cleo, but they just don't give me what this gives. I just think that this doll is, honestly, as a complete piece, for me, there's no changes needed. There's nothing that I really need to do to make this like a 100 out of 100. Do you know what I mean? So she was so worth it. Like, the only thing I will say is if you are interested in these dolls, I would probably wait till they're in store just so you can pick a face. This face is great. It's a little bit wonky, but I have a history with wonky Draculaura, so whatever, it doesn't really matter. And when you tilt the head, you can't really tell. And I'm also really picky, so that's also a little bit on me. But yeah, Monster High is really capturing my attention right now. I'm not necessarily sure if that's going to be a long-term thing. There have been a lot of leaks recently for Rainbow High and Bratz and Shadow High, and I'm just so back in that ballpark. Like, I'm so looking forward to the Shadow High collector dolls. I'm really excited for the Sparkle and Shine Series 2. There are a couple of those dolls that I'm like, I need to get you once you're out. And the Bratz Fashion Pixies 2.0 and Scorching. I'm kind of back in that place, but this Draculaura is just so great. Would highly recommend. And yeah, that's kind of like my full thoughts and feelings on this doll. I'm impressed. I hope you're excited about them as well. They're finally here, and I'm just really glad that she's in my collection, and I'm excited to spruce her up and make her look incredible. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are feeling this doll, let me know. Let me know who your favorite from the Scary Sweet Birthday line. Mine is definitely Draculaura. I'm obsessed with her, as I've said about 40 million times. And if you're a fan of doll content, if you're a fan of Monster High, Shadow High, Bratz, all that jazz, please feel free to give me a like, maybe subscribe, as I make regular content based around dolls and specifically those brands. So there's a lot more content on the way, so if you want another person to pop up in your subscription box, feel free to subscribe, feel free to like, comment, and yeah, I will see you in the next one.